Okay. So I was going to save this for a little bit later when I'm so sorry. I'm still drinking that mimosa. I was gonna save this unpacking later for when I decide to go outside, but I just think it's like useful to have it now just because I have it in front of me. It's top of mind. Okay, so obviously I am a woman. I have the female, well, not obviously. Let me stop. Okay. I am a female, so I have the womanly organs and because so this for the last year I have like changed jobs like 3 different times. Okay, so I've had 3 different insurance carriers, and I recently in like what was it in January I quit my this job that I have. I wasn't very serious about the job. I was just the only reason I was working on the job was to pay for my dinners. It didn't pay for any other aspects of my life. It was simply paying for dinner. So I quit that job because I'm like, I have to get a real adult job. This job is like not going anywhere, right? Okay. So because I kept switching jobs so many times, my insurance switched many times too. Now, the reason that I started the conversation with like, I am a woman, a female, is because a part of being that and being an adult, or really being a young adult, if you are beyond the place of your primary care physician being a pediatrician and you have like an adult family medicine practice doctor who is taking care of you and you are female, you need an OBGYN to take care of your like female health. Now, I was trying to work with like one OBGYN, but when I quit my job, my insurance stopped. So then I had to go find another OBGYN who was in the network where I was receiving care. That's another thing I can go into when you're getting a new job, how to navigate health insurance and taking advantage of that. That's another video though. Right now we're talking about the fact that I switched insurance, and so one thing that I do just to be on the safe side is I keep Medi-Cal. So you can go online. I'm in the state of California, so you can go online and you could just apply for health insurance, and I always do it at a point where I'm not working, and so when you apply when you're not working, you automatically qualify for Medi-Cal. And then when they ask you who you want your insurance provider to be, I always select Blue Cross. And so I use my Blue Cross Medi-Cal insurance to work with a system. Right now I work with Carbon Health. So Carbon Health is the medical system that I work with, and now I like them a lot because they are very digital. Like you can communicate at all hours with your primary care physician. You can book, test results for stuff. So when I was going to Brazil, I quickly booked an appointment and got like a clearance test, a COVID test, and all that shit, so I can use it to get to Brazil. They have obviously electronic health records and things like that. It's very simple for them to attain records from other health facilities that I've gone through, so aggregating records and things like that. But they are not OBGYNs, so they do not focus on women's health. So for women's health issues, I had to go elsewhere. So for me, because of my current financial and work situation, I have been receiving women's health services from Planned Parenthood. Now, this has been great for me. I appreciate all of the different services that they have. Like I consistently, every time I have a new sexual partner, I run all of my blood work and just make sure that everything is clear and good. And they have like an electronic chart record system that I use to just make sure like whatever's going on and get whatever tests I need, or look at imagery that was done anyhow. So, I've been doing that this year. I've had some appointments with Planned Parenthood. It was great. But I was like, I told myself, I was like, yeah, I think I need to take a break from guys and dudes altogether because it was just a lot. It was a lot last year. It was a lot. So I like basically deleted, all those like dating apps, and I just kind of like haven't really been talking to any of the dudes in my phone. There's a lot of dudes in my phone, but I just haven't really been talking to them. Anyway, so about 2 nights ago, I can't remember like what I said, but I sent like some funny mess. Like sometimes when I'm drunk, I do send like drunk text messages to exes. So I did that. That was funny. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, this is over. But after I sent that message, so one guy. He's like a friend. I think we might have like hooked up like once or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, so he texts, right? And so basically here's the deal. He was like, he was doing other stuff. Now the reason that this guy has like not been on my roster of like serious contenders is because he has a real problem with time management and sticking to commitments. And I think it's because there's so many other things going on in his life that he doesn't actually have the time to commit any time to me. But for me, that's a problem. I don't want flaky men in my life. Like, if you can't get a handle of what's going on in the rest of your life, it's very clear that you don't have time for me, because I'm not gonna be somebody's like, second choice or like fly by a whim or whatever. So it's not gonna work out. So on my phone, I have a sleep timer. So at, I think it's like 11 p.m. every night, all of my notifications stop coming and my phone goes away. So the phone goes on the charger. All of it's silent in my home. And I'm just sleeping, right? And I like it that way because I'm able to focus on sleep. So a lot of what I've been focusing on in the last few months has been my writing, and I am getting deeper and deeper into certain subject matter, and I want to understand it, and using certain tools. Like, I'm getting more and more familiar with this tool, Alteryx, and predictive analytics, and using like certain tools for that. So like, this is a new skill for me. I'm trying to like understand how to do that. And so a part of the learning process happens during sleep. So disrupting my sleep is not a good idea. Anyway, so I'm texting back and forth with this guy, right? And here's what he says. It's like, it's between like 5:30 p.m. when we start messaging, and he's basically saying, "Oh, okay, I've got to work with one of my business clients, but when I get done, I should be free and I'm going to head over." This is at 5:30. So where our conversation was, it looked like he was going to come at around like 8:30. So I was expecting him at around 8:30. So I'm like, "Okay, this is fine." I was like, "Make sure you bring some snacks, some food, and then let's hang out or whatever." So, okay. It's about 6:30. I think I'd started watching the film Master again. I was like unpacking it. I was like taking some notes. I'd walked to the store. I got some chips. I'd had a little bit of wine. So now it's around 8:30. I look at my phone. There's nothing. Like, he hasn't said anything. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. So then I just go, like, I take a bath. I'm like still chilling out. I'm like listening to music. I did a little bit of cleaning. I do a little bit of writing. 11 o'clock comes along. I look at my phone. There's nothing. So I just go to sleep, right? All right, so one thing that I am good for is like waking up in the middle of the night to do my work. I am like such a night owl. I just get more things done at night. So I wake up at like 3 a.m., and I'm like, oh, okay, I got a little nap. I'd slept for 4 hours or whatever. And I also like ended up having that entire bottle of wine because I'm like waiting for this guy. I'm like watching the movie. I'm like dancing in my apartment or whatever. So like the night got away from me. Okay. Like, so that part's kind of funny. And I look at my phone though, and because like when I unlock my phone, then all of the messages come up. So then of course I've got like all these messages from him where he's like, "I'm here," but he's sending those messages at like 1:45 a.m. and I'm like, are you joking? So I text him back. No, actually, I think I called him and I'm like, "Hey." And then he's like, "What's going on? Are you drunk or something?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just waking up." And then he's like, "You're drunk. Like, I don't even understand what's going on here. Like, this is bullshit. Like, I came and then I left." So he's all pissed because he's like made the drive out to my apartment. And then when he got there, I was sleeping. But like, he told me he was coming at 8:30. He showed up at 1:45 a.m. And then he starts talking about how like I'm new to adulting and he has all these responsibilities with his business and shit, and that like I'm the person in the wrong. And it was just kind of like, wow, this is what I like to call nigger logic. Like, it's just like he has no awareness that like there's another person that he's talking to, and that other person is me, and I too have shit going on in my life. Like, in his mind, that is not a thing. Like, I'm just supposed to be at his beck and call, you know what I'm saying? Even if he says he's coming at... So the other thing is, between 8:30 and 1:45, there was no communication. So he wasn't sending a message like, hey, I'm going to be late, or, oh, this is the current status of what's happening, let's reschedule. Just nothing like that. No accountability, just nothing. And he just like pops up at 1:45. Like, I told him I was going to be home, but still, like, why does he think it's acceptable to show up at 1:45? Like, who's still just up and out at 1:45? Unless I was just like, oh, I'm bar hopping, show up at this bar with me. Like, that was not the case. Like, I told him I was going to be home. But still, he showed up at 1:45. Like, and then he had the audacity to be upset at me. So when I called, he was like, this is bullshit, you're drunk. And then he hangs up the phone. To me, like, I'm not even upset. I'm not upset. But it's just really sad because, like, this is the current state of men. It's the current state of men. Like, I think I'm going to do a little bit more work of unpacking other situations, like the Tyler situation, the Sean situation. I mean, these are actually pathetic. Like, these guys really believe that, like, first of all, I'm not going to go talk shit about them, which is, like, totally bogus. Like, I'm totally going to talk shit about them in professional circles. Like, I don't know what they think this is, like, because all I have is, like, receipts and places that I've really been with these losers, and they just continue to show up as trash day after day after day. And I'm not sure what they think, as though, like, oh, my review of their shittiness is not going to be taken into account. Well, here's what I can tell you. There are women who are of less caliber than me, let's just put it that way. And for those women, their faulty behavior or whatever princess syndrome that they believe that they're giving these women is full of shit, because these are loser bitches anyway. But also, to anyone who's actually, like, worth a fucking penny, you know, they're gonna be like, why would you do that? Like, who behaves in that way? And if you were willing to treat someone else this way, how do I know that you're not gonna treat me this way? I'm telling you, nigger logic doesn't allow them to think that way. Like, they do not believe that their past behavior is indicative of future behavior. They don't believe in accountability. They have no remorse for, like, other people's feelings or experiences. They just live in these bubbles over there where they're doing really toxic shit, and they just keep doing it. It's like they gossip with other men about women. And it's just like the women are just over here kind of like, what the fuck is happening? And some women are able to, like, actually access therapy and unpack the bullshit that they've been going through. And then they're like, this is crazy, I'm opting out. And it's not just one or two women. Like, so many women at this point are feeling this way. And now there's, like, no one left. Now these guys are out at bars, and I'm just wondering, like, who's really out there, though? Because, like, people they keep hitting my DM, like, please come to my event. We're having this event, I want you to come. I'm not showing up at none of these events. I'm tired of seeing these niggers everywhere. I'm sorry, I don't want to go. Like, so there was a point in time, like a couple months ago, you know, I'd walk to the Whole Foods or whatever. There's these black guys who kept yelling at me, talking about, you're not going to fuck with black guys anymore. I'm like, that's true. Like, I feel like everyone's known that I've been divested for a while, but what I did last year was try to give a few of them a chance. And time after time, they kept showing up as shit. There was the VC worth, he raised $35 million, still a piece of shit. There was, like, Tyler wanting to be a bar owner and some sort of real estate dude, still a piece of shit. There was Sean, who, I don't even know if I can call this dude a human. Like, he's just got drama on drama on drama on drama, and it's just like, piece of shit. It's just like the whole ass list. There's nothing else to pull from. I have seen then it's like there was other dudes who I actually wasn't even talking to, but all they had was, like, negative shit to say about me, because I guess it's popular to, like, dehumanize black women. So I'll be like, yeah, I hate Olivia. Like, you don't even know Olivia. Like, are you fucking joking? Like, also, to be clear, and I've said this before, going around shitting on another woman, like, to a guy who does that does not make you look better to other women of substance. That only makes you look good to, like, whores and Insta thoughts. There is no beautiful supermodel who's looking at another woman and is going to be like, yeah, she's like, blah, blah, blah. Except someone who's, like, insecure. don't get me wrong, because I will say, like, if they're critiquing a particular look for a particular purpose, because like and I've had this conversation before, go look at some of my other videos where it's like there's a difference between Instagram girls and actual models. Like, they're not the same thing, and there's not really any crossover. Those are just the people on Instagram are girls who take pictures and wish that they were models. And then there are people with contracts who work. There's different kinds. There's print, there's fit, there's runway, many different kinds of ways that you can get paid money to wear clothes. It's not really, there are Instagram influencers and YouTubers who are making money influencing. That is a brand ambassadors. Those are things too. I'm not taking that away from anyone, but also those things are not really like the same. They're different. And a lot of what modeling comes down to is like your genetics. So like, are you genetically attractive or not? And so the girls that these guys, I've at least the ones that I've seen, who are pointing out like cute girls or whatever, they're like running past models and picking like ugly girls. And it's just like, we need Kevin Samuels to be out here and like let some of these chicks know, like, it's not what you think it is. Because it's not like all Asian girls are pretty, or all black girls are pretty, or all white girls are pretty. In every group, there's ugly Asian girls and pretty Asian girls. Pretty black girls, ugly black girls. Pretty Latino girls, ugly Latino girls. In every group, there's pretty ones and ugly ones. Ugly white girls, pretty white girls. Like, in every group, there's the ugly ones and there's the pretty ones. Now, some of y'all cannot dictate the difference between pretty or ugly girls because makeup and clothes has some of y'all confused. And so y'all be like, I'm trying to understand. Is she cute? She's got 16 million likes. This must mean she's pretty. Like, no, that's not how it works either. You can buy likes. For like $100, you can get like 1 million likes. You can just pay. It's called click, and then you pay, and now you got 100 million likes. That's how it works. That's why you see whole IMG models who have like 400 followers. They're IMG models. IMG is like the top modeling agency in the world. Okay, like, just make it make sense. People are just abstract from reality, and words mean things. And also, in this particular case, nigger logic is real, and I'm just making this video to let you know, be aware of it, because it's real.